You heard from the horse's mouth, Joe Biden's press secretary, what he has done for Black Americans. And what he has done is absolutely nothing. This was her moment to lay out specifically what Biden has done. She could have laid it all out on the table and put the argument to bed that the Biden administration, as well as the Democratic Party as a whole, has done nothing for Black Americans and never does anything for Black Americans. She had an opportunity to put it to bed right here and now. And instead, she talked in circles and told you absolutely nothing specific as she fumbled, bumbled, her way through her lies concerning what the Biden administration has done for Black Americans. During last week's press briefing, Karine Jean-Pierre was asked what the Biden administration's current stance was on the Reparations Study Bill H.R. 40, and this is what she had to say.
Go ahead, Alex.
Karine, San Francisco just held a hearing on reparations for decades of institutional racism, and other cities and states are considering impaneling similar commissions. D.C. is one of them. Where does this administration stand on reparations for slavery and segregation and similar historic wrongs, specifically pertaining to Black Americans?
So look, we understand that there's a legislation on the Hill currently on the study of reparations, and we think Congress is the appropriate venue for consideration on such action, and so we're going to leave it there for Congress to decide to let them go through their process that they're taking at this moment.
Now let me ask you all something. Do you think that Karine Jean-Pierre is unaware of the fact that the Republicans currently control the House of Representatives? So when she's telling you that we're going to leave it up to Congress to handle this matter, that's her way of telling you to kick rocks, shut up, and stop asking us about reparations. That's the Biden administration's stance on it. She knows good and well that the House is controlled by Republicans, and she's also more than well aware of the fact that from the moment of H.R. 40's inception, which was by John Conyers in 1989, it has never been brought up for a floor vote, not one time. I have it on the screen right here in front of you if you're watching the video, that not one time from the 101st Congress in 1989 to the 117th Congress, it has never been brought up for a floor vote. It has died in the committee every single time, except for the last 117th Congress, in which you see that it was referred to committee of jurisdiction. Though it was referred to the committee for jurisdiction, it was never brought up for a floor vote. That 117th Congress was when the Democrats controlled the House, and the Democrats didn't find it necessary to pass H.R. 40 concerning studying reparations. But what they did find very important to do, that they thought was more important in reparations, was pass a hair discrimination bill. They literally passed a bill called the Crown Act, which would ban race-based hair discrimination. That was more important to them than passing H.R. 40. So understand, when they're unwilling to even bring that up for a floor vote, they're telling you, shut up, stop asking me about that, and kick rocks. That's the Biden administration's position on reparations. Now, after telling you what the Biden administration truly feels about H.R. 40 and reparations overall, she then proceeds to talk in circles and begins fumbling and bumbling over what the Biden administration has done for Black Americans over the past 2 years. And I want you to listen up clearly, because when I said fumbling and bumbling, I was not being facetious. When she proceeded to speak to address what the Biden administration has done for Black Americans over the last 2 years, she literally could not get her lies together. She talked in circles and said absolutely nothing specific other than
But I would lay out and speak to what the president has done over the last 2 years. When he came into office, he talked about the different crises that this country is dealing with, and one of them was racial equity and racial equality, and fighting for that for communities like the Black community. And one of the things that he did right away, straight away in the beginning of his administration, is he signed an executive order that made sure that across the government that we had an approach that dealt with inequality, that made sure that
My God, she's struggling.
that political appointees in those agencies put that equality lens as they were moving forward with dealing with policy. And so that's important in really getting to the root of that issue. Clearly, that's on the federal level. And just last month, he issued a second order reaffirming the administration's commitment to deliver on that equity. So the president has shown his commitment. He's spoken to this issue that in particular the Black community has to deal with for generations upon generations. So he is going to continue to lift that up. But as it relates to the legislation, we want to leave that in the hands of Congress. Okay, Courtney.
Now, I really want you all to take a moment to meditate on everything Karine Jean-Pierre just said as it pertains to what the Biden administration has done for Black Americans thus far. For all of the social media personalities, political pundits, and so on, who get upset when we say that the Biden administration has done absolutely nothing for Black Americans and the Democratic Party does absolutely nothing for Black Americans, this is proof positive right here. And I'm not interested in hearing what any of you all have to say when you get upset when we say that, because Karine Jean-Pierre is the mouthpiece for the Biden administration. So I'm not interested in what Al Sharpton has to say or any of these other social media and political pundits. You heard from the horse's mouth, Joe Biden's press secretary, what he has done for Black Americans. And what he has done is absolutely nothing. This was her moment to lay out specifically what Biden has done. She could have laid it all out on the table and put the argument to bed that the Biden administration, as well as the Democratic Party as a whole, has done nothing for Black Americans and never does anything for Black Americans. She had an opportunity to put it to bed right here and now. And instead, she talked in circles and told you absolutely nothing specific as she fumbled, bumbled, her way through her lies concerning what the Biden administration has done for Black Americans. When it comes to Black America's undying love for the Democratic Party, I really don't know what it actually takes to get our people to see the light. I just don't know, and I don't get it at this point. These people literally tell you while they're running for president that they're not going to do anything for you. They literally tell you that they're not going to do anything specific. Now, none of this is shocking to me. It's not shocking at all. Because Biden, as well as Kamala Harris, they literally told you they weren't going to do anything for you. But you still vote for them to get into office. Then when they get in, they do absolutely nothing. And when the moment occurs for them to actually put the argument to bed that they don't do anything for you, they literally solidify our argument on this side that they do nothing for you by talking in circles and fumbling and bumbling their way through a lie. Yet we continue to vote blue no matter who, regardless. I'm literally just rendered speechless at this point, because what else is there to say? The only other thing that I can tell Black American voters is,
wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up out of your sleep, wake up out of your sleep.
that's literally all that's left to say, at least for this video. So with all that being said, that does it for today's video. Please make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you'll be notified whenever I release a new video. All social media links will be pinned in the comment section below. I also have a Telegram group now, so if you have Telegram, make sure to hit the link in the description box below, as well as pinned in the comment section, to join my Telegram group. And also, please make sure you text tdhiphop to number 33222. That's tdhiphop to number 33222. That way you'll get a text notification when whenever I release a new video, but it also serves as an insurance plan for myself, so in case YouTube ever gives me the axe, I'll be able to send you a direct link to where you can find me next. And last but certainly not least, for those of you who have a love and appreciation for the work that I put in on this channel, the number one way you can show your support is through Patreon. For only $3 a month, that will help put me in position to take TD Hip Hop Media off of YouTube. Remember, the goal is not to grow big on YouTube, but to grow independent of YouTube. And for those of you who have issues with joining Patreon, you can also hit the join button that's next to the subscribe button, and that way you can become an official channel member for as little as $3 a month as well. And lastly, if you haven't already, please make sure you join the emailing list. There is no way that I can go independent of YouTube if I cannot take the audience with me. And the link to that will be pinned in the comment section as well. Thank you for your time, and until the next video, peace.